The world now knew Mark's voice. Sophie's recording from episode 15 had exploded online, shared by thousands, then millions. For the first time, Sophie wasn't suffering in silence. She had proof. She had witnesses. But with that exposure came something darker. At first, the comments under her video poured in like a flood. "Stay strong, Sophie. This man needs to be locked away for life. We're with you." Sophie read them through swollen eyes, her trembling fingers scrolling endlessly. Strangers across the world believed her. She wasn't alone anymore. For the first time in months, she felt seen. But then, the threats started. Burner accounts with no names, messages that chilled her blood. "You can't hide. He's closer than you think. Tonight, Sophie. Tonight." She dropped her phone, heart racing. Were they just trolls? Or was it Mark taunting her again? By the second night, Sophie hadn't slept at all. Every knock, every gust of wind against the window sent her spiraling. Her nerves were raw, her body trembling with exhaustion. Lily begged her to leave town, to disappear, but Sophie shook her head. "If I run, he wins. And if I fall apart, then this video means nothing. I have to keep fighting." But even as she said it, her voice cracked. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. She wasn't just fighting Mark anymore. She was fighting the whole world watching her break apart. And then it happened. Sophie was making tea in her dimly lit kitchen when her phone buzzed on the counter. Another unknown number. She hesitated, then picked it up. "Hello?" a voice whispered on the other end. "You shouldn't have shared it, Sophie. Now everyone will watch you fall." Her breath caught. "Mark." But before she could finish, the call ended. Her cup slipped from her hand, shattering against the floor. The sound echoed in the silence, louder than a scream. She dialed the police immediately, but they gave her the same cold response. "We're monitoring the situation, ma'am. Please remain calm." Remain calm. As if calm was possible when her abuser had slipped through the cracks again. That night, Sophie did something she hadn't done in years. She knelt beside her bed and whispered a prayer, tears running down her cheeks. "God, please, give me strength. I don't want to be afraid anymore." The following morning, Lily showed up unannounced, her eyes fierce. She carried bags of groceries and a small black box. "What's that?" Sophie asked, her voice still hoarse from crying. Lily held up the box. "A tracker. Hidden cameras. If the police won't protect you, then I will." Sophie hugged her friend tightly, sobbing into her shoulder. "I don't deserve you." But Lily shook her head. "You deserve to live, Sophie, that's all." Together, they set up cameras around the house. Sophie felt a flicker of control return, a fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, this time she would be ready. But hope is cruel. That night, Sophie awoke to a faint scratching sound. Her heart pounded as she reached for her phone, pulling up the hidden camera feed. Her screen lit up, and her blood froze. A figure was at her back door, slowly, deliberately, picking the lock. It was him, Mark. Sophie's hand trembled as she whispered into the phone's mic, live streaming once again. "He's here. He's breaking in. Please, if you're watching, call the police. Help me." Her voice cracked, but she forced herself to keep talking. "I won't let him silence me. Not again." The feed shook as Sophie crept toward her living room. The door creaked open. Mark stepped inside. His face was gaunt, twisted with obsession, his eyes burning like fire. He scanned the room, whispering under his breath. "You embarrassed me, Sophie. You made me weak, but I'll take back control. I'll make you remember who you belong to." Her hands shook, her breath shallow, but she raised her phone higher, its red light glowing. "You don't own me, Mark. The whole world can see you now. You can't hide anymore." For the first time, doubt flickered in his eyes. He glanced at the phone, realizing everything he did was live. Thousands of viewers, thousands of witnesses. But his obsession was stronger than his fear. He lunged toward her, knocking the phone from her hands. The camera hit the floor, still recording. The angle skewed, but the world saw everything. Sophie screamed, fought, clawed with every ounce of strength left inside her. And in that moment, as neighbors' voices shouted outside and sirens wailed in the distance, she knew one thing. This was the final battle. Either she would survive Mark, or she wouldn't. If episode 16 left your heart racing, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who loves suspense and emotional storytelling, and comment below. Do you think Sophie will finally escape Mark, or is her nightmare still far from over? Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss episode 17, the moment that changes everything.